There are some Africans, I'm telling you, I have Africans that are close to me that don't like to be called African. These are Nigerians, born in Nigeria, that they never left Nigeria, but they would prefer to be addressed as black people. And they're Africans, black Americans that prefer to be referred as African American. We are special breeds, Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, right? But I'm a Nigerian American now. Immigrant. I've been able to go to Nigeria to want to run business, and it was so disrespectful how the business everything goes. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? This is a new different one, but I'm the same guy that I'm still on the solo, and we are here on CTDA Media. You know, this is the first time you're watching us. I'm definitely gonna promise you it's not gonna be a boring one. And if you be part of our OGs or veterans that have been enjoying every episode, I can promise you this is gonna be a wonderful one too. So stay around, but I'm not doing it alone. You already know I still have Kubana of Houston behind the camera that's going to be asking me the questions. So, Kubana, let's get into it. What's up?
I want to know Afrobeat to hip hop. Who is exploring who? I mean, by like how African sound shape American music, and how American style influence Afro artists.
I think right now, respectfully, I would say they are leveraging Afrobeat just by the sound, just by how they talk about it. But would I use the word leverage? No. I would say we're getting to know our brothers from way far from us. So the media might be using the word saying leveraging, but I think what I would say is we're influencing ourselves. We're becoming not to watch ourselves on TV, but to experience it in life. What I would say is we're just becoming to influence ourselves. So I wouldn't want to use the word exploit. I would want to use the word who is leveraging someone, but I would prefer to use the word. We're getting to know each other, even though it's not been a smooth one. That's what I would say. Yeah, but we're becoming to know this. You know, there's someone out there. You know, there's conversation where you hear from Black American, that they will say, "Oh, I don't know, y'all have AC back home. Like y'all have, TV." I'm like, "What you mean? Like, no, my nigga, we have washing machine in Nigeria too." Those are the conversations that music have given us room to have with people, and that's what I would say. We're getting to connect the dots.
Yeah. Do you believe like they see African artists like is it like let me use the word belittle, or they are surprised that someone from part of Africa can give them that style and vibes?
Unfortunately for me, this is a good question because I live in America here, so I see it both ways. What I would say is, don't believe everything somebody now have the leverage to use their phone to create, to trigger your mind not to find out the fact. Now, what you haven't experienced, be careful of what you believe. The media has given us so much that people believe everything they see online without not experiencing it. The word belittle is a word that I don't think exists, but now it goes back to the gathering you find yourself. If you're an artist and you go to a place where they're going to belittle you, why do you go there in the first place? If you're going with the wrong click, that the wrong click, they're going to belittle the wrong click. Babami, they will belittle you too. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that play a big role. But when it comes to belittling, I don't think I've heard that from a lot of artists from Nigeria coming here to America. It's been a good one though. But I know people say intercultural. People say it in America, like, you hear some Black Americans say like, y'all don't want to, I don't want to use the word bad, but like, y'all don't want to, do this with us. Another thing that I want to say, thank you for this. Intercultural relationship has been a problem. For example, when an American tell you you're stupid, they don't literally mean you're stupid. It's an expression of saying Nigeria saying, so, but if a Nigerian man hear a woman saying you're stupid, most Nigerian men get in their feelings for days. Like, why would you tell me you're stupid? So I think those have get into the music and people just exploit it, and that helped to sell music and sell entertainment. So it's something that comes with the culture.
Yeah. Okay. And stay on that topic. The sound too. Do you feel like the African sound is given it's like we talk about the sound, like the piano sound, the sound going around the world. Do you feel like that's an influence too?
Unfortunately, people that don't read, that don't watch, that don't listen, that don't find out, that don't research, we don't know this. But when Jay-Z was making music back in the days, Jay-Z was listening to the likes of Fela. So tell me why Jay-Z listens to Fela is not being influenced. And I've watched interview where Jay-Z was saying like, it's the sound, it's this thing about African sound. And when I mean African sound, I'm not just saying Afrobeats, I'm not saying I'm on piano. I'm not saying, I don't know how you want to call it, Akpala. I'm not saying Arteta. Like there's so many genres now in Nigeria that we have. Afrofusion, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fact that we can bring 2-3 instruments to make it a sound. Man, for me, I just feel like we're being intertwined in our culture of our Black African. I do hear some Americans now, they will tell you like they don't even want to be called African American. They want to be called American, which you can disrespect them. But it comes back to the fact that knowing us has given them confidence to choose what they want. Think about it. So music has been sound is something that I wouldn't think anybody exploiting that now there's AI. It's just who we are, man. We're just in denial.
Yeah, but you can say like on the collabos too, like Drake and Whiskey now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Chris Brown and Davido.
Yeah. So
yes, and so do you feel like the Americans they're trying to they're feeling the African vibes now? Let me use that word, the vibes now.
So unfortunately, music is spiritual. People look at it from the business part, from the layman terms. But most of the time, all these artists that we see, they move spiritually. They just don't pick artists to sing with, unless they just want to do it for the sake of viral moments. Unless maybe, their record label might be the one to push it. But if you look at the songs that go viral, for example, Drake and Wizkid, I believe that's something that happened magically. And that changed Afrobeat, It put a standard to who we are. It gave us a lot of audience. And before that, Wizkid already writes for Drake. So it's intertwined, like I said. It is spiritual. When they know you're talented, they work with you. So I think that's the part a lot of people don't put too much attention into, if I'm to say it. So for me, if I'm to look at any collaboration that we see where Nigerian music sound, hip hop sound, anyhow you want to call it, it goes back to who we are. We're just interconnecting more better than how we did in the past.
Okay, thank you so much. I learned a lot from that.
Thank you.
So let me go to another topic, which is more broad.
All right.
Black identity across borders. What does black mean in African terms and American terms? And okay, let me break it down. Maybe into like the race, the culture, the diverse, like the differences and the similarities too.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Based on my own research, because a lot of people say things online are literally like it does not even make sense when you listen to them, but it will make sense when you put your mind into it. But when you start finding out the fact about it, it does not even make sense. So I'm going to use some couple of people that I met, one of the people that we have conversation with. There are some Africans, I'm telling you, I have Africans that are close to me that don't like to be called African. These are Nigerians, born in Nigeria, they never left Nigeria, but they would prefer to be addressed as black people. You get what I'm saying? And they're Africans, black Americans that prefer to be referred as African American. What I'm trying to tell you is the difference between black and African has to do with the individual belief towards the ideology that they attach themselves with the system. We live in a system where in America has capitalism. In Nigeria it's a mix of capitalism. I can't remember the other two because I know Nigeria is not just on capitalism, but we use it. But socialism, and we have one more. I've forgotten. I did some research about it because I know it's been splitted into that 3 places. But to tell you to understand, like if you're coming from Nigeria. Well, for example, in Lagos, when you jump on Molwe, think about it. There's an ideology you believe as an African. But here you are in America when you don't jump on Molwe, bus will stop for you. The train has a place it's gonna stop. But in Nigeria, you can see people selling on the train station. So all those things determine how we see ourselves. So to answer your question professionally in a short time without saying too much, it is an individual belief of who we are. I don't think it should be generalized by forcing someone saying, yeah, you're Black American or you're African American. I just feel like we should give people the chance to attach themselves with whichever one that make them feel comfortable.
The diaspora dollar. How can African American entrepreneurs how can they collaborate for global power?
So I'm trying to say this without I feel like I'm trying to I'm that's so I have in I've that's a big one.
It's a big one, yeah.
The reason why I said it's a big one is I've experienced a lot. There's a lot of information when you read it online, when you hear saying African American are trying to do business in I'm gonna use Nigeria, that's where I'm from. And you hear them being asking me like, is this secured? Is this safe? And then all of a sudden you're seeing, I don't know the guy name, I can't remember the name of it. Start bringing out the actual amount a house supposed to be selling in Lagos. And you get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to bring out from that quick conversation is we are special breeds, Nigeria. That's number one. And the reason why I feel like we're special breeds is we are the one even making conversation to be talked about right now in the world. Think about it. Let's forget about everything. Sport, music, fashion, photo, movies, mention it. We're there. Like, and when we're there, we're making impact. Like football, UFC, all these things have given us a power where we become to make some conversation to be talked about. But this is one thing I want to give any Nigerian that might be watching this. We shouldn't be over carried away with our ideology, forgetting that we are not the only Black or African American or African around the world. To the level where, yes, we own it, that I think is now we need to start giving room for other people to attach themselves to us, which is something I think we're only doing in the music. Music is the only thing that attach music and football, actually. I take that back, music and football. But when you take those two things out, the rest we struggle with it.
So, that means in business too, struggle in business?
In terms of the business, the reason why I kind of move away from your question, if you notice that I ran away from it, because if I share my experience, you know what? Let's make it like this. I'm a Nigerian, right? But I'm a Nigerian American now, immigrant. I've been able to go to Nigeria to want to run business, and it was so disrespectful how the business, everything goes. In the level, like, you start asking yourself, like, do they forget, like, you're still Nigerian? Like, I was born in Nigeria, but it shows the gap that we have in entrepreneur trying to go back to Africa. Now, I'm not going to say it's not happening. If you notice a lot of happening in Ghana to America, you don't see a lot Nigerian American. I'm not saying we don't have, but it's just we need to work on our integrity individually. This is not the nation, because I'm not going to group the entire Nigerians saying Nigerians like this. I've learned to know better by saying individually we need to do better with our integrity, because if that is being done, which goes both ways, actually, it goes to America too, because in America, a lot of African Americans to disrespect Nigerians. I've encountered many situations where that happened, and that put me to realize that I just understand, like, we need to do better. And for me, for anybody that might be watching this, doing better does not mean talking about it. Doing better is by showing how you live your life every day. How you impact people. What kind of interaction are you having with them? What kind of last impression are you giving people? Are you intentionally just exploiting people every time you meet new people, in respect of African American or Nigerian, or however you might call it? But are you trying to build a relationship where the next person can be easily be recognized? So I think that's one thing both culture and interculture need to look into, because the experience I've had, even I'm still right now, not to make it about me, but I'm still on medicine because of whatever I have from an African American like me, that stereotype it to the level where I'm on meds. So it lets you to realize that we need to do better as Black and as African. So in this particular episode, we're gonna be rounding it up. If we've been able to say something that trigger your mind, we're not honing everything by saying our ideology must be enforced on you. But if you have your own way of how you think you have something to say, we would definitely would like to hear your view. Drop a comment, drop a message, share this with somebody you think you know that would love to add their own view or add their own impact to this. So let's make a conversation that will connect the dots. And to the next episode that you might be watching us, I'm still Oyibanji Akins, and you can check us out on www.ctdamongblack. Till next time, stay safe, share, talk about us, join the community, and let's continue to connect it up. Thank you.